My name is Angie Devine from the Crime Victims Center of Erie County. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and the theme this year is I Ask for Consent. During our time together today, you have the right to participate in whatever way you choose. That means you have the right to take part in activities, or you can pass. What is consent? Take a minute and think about this. I'm sure you've heard of the word consent. But what does it mean? And what does it mean to you? When someone gives consent, they are giving permission for something to happen or agreeing to do something. Consent occurs when one person voluntarily agrees to the proposal or desires of another. Consent requires respecting boundaries. What is a boundary? A boundary is a line you don't cross without permission. Everyone has the right to set their own boundaries and have those boundaries respected. Consent is about always choosing to respect the personal and emotional boundaries of others. Asking for consent is a healthy, normal, and necessary part of everyday interactions. It is important for individuals to think about how their actions make others feel and ask questions if they don't know. When do you ask for consent in your daily life? Sexual consent before any kind of physical touch. Is it okay if I touch you? Can I kiss you? Then there's digital consent, texting, sharing online, sexting. Questions like, is it okay if I text you while you're at work? Can I post this photo of us on Instagram? What about consent with our kids? You want to ask questions like, do you want to sit together at lunch? Can I play with your toy? Can I give you a hug? Can I help you with that? All of us can practice consent in our day-to-day lives by asking permission before assuming and showing respect for other choices. Consent must have these 5 characteristics. Clear. Consent is expressed through mutually understood words and actions. The absence of a yes is a no. Silence does not equal consent. Specific. Saying yes to one act, like kissing, doesn't mean that someone consents to other acts. Anyone can change their mind at any time, which removes prior consent given. Voluntary. Consent needs to be freely given, without pressure or manipulation. Pressuring, manipulation, bribing, or threatening someone is not consensual. Ongoing. Consent must be given each and every time. Consent in the past doesn't give consent in the future. This also means someone can withdraw their consent at any time. Coherent. A person cannot give consent if they are under the influence of drugs or alcohol, unconscious, or sleeping. Consent is a normal and necessary part of sex. Let's watch a short video from the National Sexual Violence Resource Center.
You already know asking for consent is a part of sex, whether you're hooking up with someone or you're in a long-term relationship. But what does asking for consent look like? And what do you say if you're the one being asked? Consent is about more than just getting a yes or no answer from your partner. It's about opening up a conversation about what you both want. You can start early on, like asking to hold their hand. Questions like this show your partner you respect them and won't make them do anything they don't want to. When you're thinking about getting close to someone, don't wait until the heat of the moment to bring up sex. Talk about things like protection, previous experiences and preferences through texts or in casual situations. And when you ask without an expectation of how your partner will respond. Make it clear you're okay with their answer no matter what it is. If someone is asking you for consent, they want to know your true feelings. If you're not sure you can share your true feelings, it might be worth thinking about why. So when your partner asks for consent and you want to say no, you can say, "Thanks for asking, but I just don't feel that way about you." Or, "I'm not feeling up to that tonight. Maybe we can just cuddle instead." You both deserve to have an experience you're 100% excited about. If you say yes, be specific. Let them know what you're agreeing to, and if there are any conditions. You can say, "I'm into that, if you have a condom." Even after you say yes, keep the conversation going. Remember that consent is a skill. You get better as you practice. Learn more about consent at nsvrc.org/SAM.
Here are some examples of how you can ask for consent. Ask without expectations of how your partner will respond. When you ask, make it clear from your words, tone, and body language that you're okay with the answer, no matter what it is. Pay attention to body language and verbal cues. Sometimes your partner may not feel comfortable directly saying no. Instead, they could say something like, "I guess," or even, "if you want to," when you actually want to say no, but feel pressured. If you're not sure, play it safe. If you aren't sure your partner is into what you're suggesting, err on the side of caution and don't go any further. Instead, ask what they want to do or suggest another activity. You can say, "You don't sound too sure. Why don't we just watch a movie instead?" They say yes and appear excited or enthusiastic, you can move forward. Continue to check in with them to see if they're enjoying what you're doing. You can say, "What do you want me to do next?" Or, "How does that feel?" Sometimes the other person will say no, and that's okay. Reassure them that you're glad they can be honest with you, but ultimately respect their choices and boundaries. When you're being asked, it's because someone wants to know your true feelings. It can be tough to tell someone how you feel, especially if you think it's not what they want to hear. But it shows you respect them and yourself. You can say, "Thank you for asking, but I just don't feel that way about you." Or, "I'm not feeling up to that tonight. Maybe we could just cuddle instead." You might be unsure. You may not be ready to do what your partner is asking. Or maybe you aren't sure if you're in the mood. In these situations, it's best to say no. You both deserve to have an experience that is 100% excited about. You can say, I like the sounds of that, but not right now. I'll let you know how I feel about that later. And if you say yes, be specific and let them know you're agreeing to, and if you are there with any other conditions. You can say, I'm into that if you have a condom. Consent is ongoing conversations. So continue to let your partner know what you like or don't like. You can also let them know if you'd like them to stop or if you need a break. Consent is a skill. You get better as you practice. We're going to take a quick, short quiz to see what you've learned about consent so far. Let's put your consent skills to the test. Question number 1. You should ask for consent before A. Holding hands, B. Kissing, C. Having sex, or D. All of the above. That's right. D. All of the above. Number 2. Consent only applies to sex. A. True, B. False. The answer is B. False. Consent does not only apply to sex. Number 3. When should you ask for consent? A. Before any type of touch. B. Only right before sex. C. Just the first time you have sex with someone. D. When you feel like the moment is right. The answer is A. Number 4. Who should ask for consent? A. People hooking up for the first time. B. A couple in a long-term relationship. C. Married couples. Or D. All of the above. That's right. D. All of the above. Number 5. When having a conversation about sex, you can talk about A. Protection, B. Previous experiences, C. What you like or don't like, or D. All of the above. Yes, D. All of the above. These are things that you should talk about before having sex. Question number 6. Consent is only verbal. Body language and tone don't matter. True or false? It's right, false. Body language and tone do matter. Just a couple questions left. Number 7. What clues help you to determine if you have someone's consent after you've asked them? A. Their words. B. Their body language. Or C. Their tone of voice. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Question number 8. If a partner responds, I guess, or if you want to, this could mean A. They don't feel comfortable directly saying no. B. They really want to do what you suggested. C. They might feel pressured or unsure. D. Both A and C. Or E. All of the above. The answer is D. Both A and C. They don't feel comfortable directly saying no. And C, they might feel pressured or unsure. This is why tone of voice is important. Number 9, if you've asked for consent, but you aren't sure if your partner is into what you've suggested, A, respect their answer and do something else. B, ignore them. C, ask them again later. D, try and convince them to say yes. The answer is A, respect their answer and do something else. Last question, number 10. Once you've both consented, you can still tell your partner, A, if you would like to stop, B, if you need a break, C, what you're into and not into, D, all of the above. The correct answer is D, all of the above. You should be able to tell your partner if you would like to stop, if you need a break, and what you're into and not into. As I said at the beginning, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Sexual Assault Awareness Month is a campaign to raise public awareness about sexual violence and educate communities on how to prevent it. The campaign theme, I Ask, champions the message that asking for consent is a healthy, normal, and necessary part of everyday interactions. For more information and resources, you can visit www.nsvrc.org/SAM, SAAM, or pcar.org/consent. At the Crime Victims Center of Erie County, we work with schools, community organizations, and workplaces to help people learn how to practice consent in their everyday lives. We offer a variety of prevention programming that teaches people about healthy relationships, communication, respecting boundaries, and other skills to create a safer community for everyone. At the Crime Victims Center of Erie County, we also offer services to victims of sexual harassment, abuse, and assault. Some of our services include, but are not limited to, a 24-hour hotline, 814-455-9414. This is available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We also have satellite offices available in Corey, Edinboro, Union City, Northeast, and Girard. We offer crisis intervention, individual counseling, group counseling, supportive groups, accompaniment to criminal justice proceedings, information about case statuses, information and referrals, assistance with filing paperwork for victims' compensation and restitution. And lastly, we have a very robust prevention education program. If someone tells you they were a victim of sexual assault, remain calm, believe them, and give them control. Listen and be available for the survivor to express a range of feelings and assure them of your support. Encourage counseling and be patient. Healing can take years with advances and setbacks, but healing can happen. Crime Victim Center is here for you at 814-455-9414.